Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The governor promised a decision was coming, and today Michigan gyms and people pushing for fall sports got news they've been waiting for.
What led to a Southfield woman being falsely declared dead? A new report places the blame squarely on one paramedic.
And the Local 4 defenders learning more about what went so terribly wrong inside the Wayne County Jail, leading to the death of a beloved corporal. Thanks for being with us for the news here at 6. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office is in mourning tonight over the loss of one of their own. And there's new information coming out about the attack by an inmate that led to the death of Corporal Bryant Searcy as he was checking to make sure cells were locked for the night. Local 4 defender Sean Lay live with what he's learned in this tragic case. And Sean, as you were telling us at 5, several things went terribly wrong.
Absolutely. Let's get right to it. Sources telling us tonight that inmate was somehow able to jam the lock on his cell door. They're still investigating how he did it, but that enabled him to get out and launch a sneak attack on this sheriff's deputy who is absolutely beloved. The attack, we're told by sources, lasted 20 to 30 minutes. We're also told by those same sources that the deputy's partner should have been with him, but he was not.
We house some of the most dangerous criminals in America in the Wayne County Jail.
Not just the Wayne County Jail, but the 100-year-old Wayne County Jail, known as Division 2, with old sliding bar doors. 10 o'clock last night, nightly lockdown time. Corporal Bryant Searcy checking the lock on a violent offender who has a long history of armed robberies and carjackings. The inmate was able to open his cell door.
He was viciously assaulted by one of the inmates.
Sources confirmed to the defenders the inmate snuck up behind Corporal Searcy and put him in a chokehold. Eventually, Corporal Searcy was rushed to the hospital but could not be saved. Sheriff Benny Napoleon says video clearly shows Searcy making sure the inmate's door was locked.
The corporal checked the door. He checked it, believed it was locked, and he went to the next cell. He was checking the next cell when the suspect came out of his cell and attacked him.
The sheriff says the inmate blocked his door, but they don't know how he was able to block it from being locked. Sources say this brutal attack went on for 20 to 30 minutes. Where was the backup, the help? Sources confirm Searcy's partner was not with him and should have been.
We are looking at where everyone was at the time this occurred, and we will find out if people were where they should have been during the course of what transpired.
Back here live at the jail, I am told by sources that the issue of the partner not being with Corporal Searcy is a major problem here. The two should have been together. That is under an internal investigation. DPD, they have launched a homicide investigation into this. The inmate is in custody of DPD right now. Guys, that's where things stand right now, but an absolute blow to this department, and the fact that this attack went on for 20 to 30 minutes, we're told by sources, is stunning so many within the department. Back to you.
Yeah, just so very, very tragic. Sean, you told us at 5 what a difference he made in the community, and the community is already rallying around this corporal's family. Tell us about that.
That's right. The Colin Rose Memorial Facebook page put out a memorial page for the corporal to raise money, with every dollar going to his family. They were hoping to raise $1,000. Right now, it's well over $8,000 right now.
All right. Sean, thanks.
Updating breaking news. Within the past few hours, Governor Whitmer clearing the way for a limited reopening of gyms, pools, and high school sports in Michigan. The governor says gyms and pools can reopen September 9th. That's next Wednesday. Masks and 6-foot social distancing rules will be required at all times. Organized sports can resume, but with a limit of 2 spectators per participant. The state is, quote, recommending against contact sports at this time, but it is not prohibiting them. Individual districts will have the option whether to play. That's according to the MHSAA, which also says football practices will start Tuesday. Games will start September 18th, and all players, no matter what sport, will wear a mask. I had a chance to speak with John Johnson of the MHSAA. He says this can be done safely.
Schools were doing a pretty good job during their summer practices as far as keeping kids safe and acting quickly when a case of COVID was suspected or detected. And we certainly think that we can do a better job than some of the entrepreneurs that were stepping up to try and give kids another option. Should football have to be on the sidelines this fall? Schools feel safe, people feel safer having their kids at their schools than other places.
And we want to check in on the latest COVID-19 numbers from around the state. Michigan reporting 685 new cases, which is up 161 from yesterday. 10 more Michiganders have died from the virus.
Now to a Local 4 update on the Southfield woman who was declared dead but later found alive at a funeral home. State documents show paramedic Michael Storms repeatedly failed to recognize Tamisha Beaucamp was alive. Documents reveal he misled a doctor about her condition and that he stopped resuscitation efforts 6 minutes before getting permission. A hearing for Storms and another paramedic is scheduled for next week. Meanwhile, Beauchamp remains in critical condition.
There are criminal charges to report in a tragic story we first brought you in July. That's when a crash at the intersection of 10 Mile and Ryan killed a 10-year-old girl. Larry Spruill is live with the charges against one of the drivers involved, and he has reaction from the father of that girl. Larry.
Yeah, Jason, that intersection that happened here, that accident happened here at this intersection of 10 Mile Road and Ryan. And tonight we are learning that driver who ran the red light and killed little Gigi is facing charges. I also spoke with the father. He says this is hard for the entire family.
Wow. My poor daughter. That's all I can say is my poor daughter. She didn't deserve it.
You can still hear the pain in his father's voice weeks after his 10-year-old daughter, who he calls little Gigi, was killed in this accident on July 25th at the intersection of 10 Mile and Ryan in Warren. Warren police say Gigi and her mother were heading home from Tim Hortons when 60-year-old Timothy John Otto from Chesterfield Township ran the light, crashing his 2004 dump truck into their 2003 Honda. Police said the backhoe of Otto's truck fell on top of the car Gigi was in, killing her at the scene. Thursday, police are charging Otto with 3 counts: homicide, murder in the second degree, which is a life felony, homicide, manslaughter with motor vehicle, and lastly, reckless driving causing death.
All I have to say is my poor daughter, and God rest her soul.
And police say they are expecting that driver to turn himself in tomorrow. We are live in Warren tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Yeah, just an awful story. All right, Larry, thanks.
General Motors made an announcement today that might leave many people shaking their heads. The company signed an agreement with Honda to work together to build cars and technology. Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney is live downtown tonight with what exactly is going on here. Hi, Rod.
Well, Kimberly, a friend of mine, his name is Dave Cole, a very well-known auto analyst over the years, has said it's called co-opetition. In other words, car companies that perhaps don't compete head-to-head can work together to save money. And that's precisely what General Motors is doing with a surprise entry, Honda.
We really should have seen this coming. Last April, GM agreed to work with Honda on next-generation electric vehicles powered by GM's Ultium battery packs. Today's announcement takes that to the next level with a non-binding memorandum of understanding, creating a North American automotive alliance to develop advanced and next-generation technologies. They will share common vehicle platforms, electrified and internal combustion propulsion, meaning that some vehicles will be GM underneath with Honda bodies on top. Engineering begins in early 2021. GM President Mark Royce said today, quote, given our strong track record of collaboration, the companies would realize significant synergies in the development of today's vehicle portfolio, end quote. Auto Trader analyst Michelle Krebs says the industry is changing before our eyes.
All of the automakers know that eventually electrification, autonomous vehicles, connectivity will be our way of life. However, that's far off in the future, but they've got to make investments now. And those investments are huge, and there's no payback anytime soon.
So if you want electric cars and connectivity like OnStar, you partner. And Honda was not thought of as a likely candidate for that.
It's been standalone, kind of like BMW is just a really standalone company. But the way we're headed in the future, it's probably not possible for them to take this all on by themselves.
Now, it's not like this is new. There have been dabbling in these kinds of things. And if you remember the Saturn Vue, That car, actually, much of the underpinnings of that car were Honda. So General Motors has done this before, but not to this scale. And they have a lot riding on this because they're hoping for millions upon millions in savings. Reporting live downtown, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
And with a nice view. All right, Rod, thanks. Checking decision 2020 now. We've just learned Joe Biden will visit Michigan next Wednesday. No details yet on where he'll be. Today, there's been lots of reaction to something President Trump said yesterday to a reporter. He suggested North Carolina voters should test its state's election system by voting by mail first and then trying to vote in person.
They'll go out and they'll vote, and they're going to have to go and check their vote by going to the poll and voting that way, because if it tabulates, then they won't be able to do that. So let them send it in and let them go vote. And if their system's as good as they say it is, then obviously they won't be able to vote. If it isn't tabulated, they'll be able to vote.
Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel and Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson came out today to make sure everyone knows that's not legal. And if you try it, you can actually get in trouble. Jamie Edmonds has the reaction from them and from clerks at the local level. Jamie.
I talked to a county clerk, a township clerk, and a city clerk's office, and they all say trying to vote twice here wouldn't work because of the checks and balances in place.
It's important for people in Michigan, for voters everywhere, to understand we have these national debates, but really, for the most part, the rules for elections are set on the state level.
Macomb County Clerk Fred Miller says elections in Michigan are secure. There would be no way for someone to say vote absentee and then go and vote in person. There would be an immediate red flag because of the state's qualified voter file.
That keeps records of everybody's voter registration, along with a signature match, which is also matched up with the state voter ID driver's license database. A real bulwark of our ability to make sure that everybody who is voting are truly eligible.
The City of Detroit's clerk's office told me once the absentee ballot is recognized, you can't vote in person, period. If someone tried, Attorney General Dana Nessel said in a statement, quote, "Let me be perfectly clear. Voting twice is illegal, no matter who tells you to do it. The president's idea is a great one for people looking to go to jail. My office will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law anyone who intentionally flouts our election laws." Miller says the more than 1,500 clerks in our state take elections very seriously. The confidence and security of the election is the top priority.
Certainly have no evidence of any kind of fraud going on, and if anybody does have if anybody is concerned about it, I would welcome them to ask a clerk. Local clerk can explain the situation and the rules.
Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
Okay, Jamie, ahead for us here at 6, a look at how men in particular are coping with the emotional strain of the pandemic.
And here's Ben.
Kim and Jason, get some darker clouds starting to set up shop over Detroit, and there could be some showers pushing in behind. We'll look at the timing on that and changes to your Labor Day forecast. All ahead.
But first, a story that will make you want to choose the highest tip amount for your food delivery driver. The shocking behavior police say a Grubhub driver had to endure courtesy of this woman in Wyandotte.